Hi everyone, welcome to the session. And before me starting the session, I would like to thank BIM Coordinator Summit for introducing me to this platform. And a very big thank you to all of you for joining online on this session. So myself, Midhundas, BIM manager from BIM Channel Project Management Services, Dubai, UAE. So currently, my task here, or I'm here to share few insights what we have gone through in our recent past, especially in the BIM implementation as well as different BIM projects. How to handle such situations, or what are the basic things we have to be aware when we are going to enter into such a kind of project. So that is what even I am planning to share it with you in the coming few minutes. So once again, I thank you all for joining for the session, and hopefully let us try to get some good thoughts, and let us have a kind of short interactions. So my topic here is about quality control and BIM standardization, because the point what I have to tell you is that we have been hearing about BIM many years, right? But the point is, in most of the project, every stakeholders are facing some issues on handling and executing it in an effective manner. Definitely, there is a word like we cannot make everything completely perfect, but up to an extent, we can make it perfect. So, by considering that particular fact, we have to improve our operations or improve our methodology to make it much more better way so that it is easily adoptable by everyone in the industry. So when we talk about this kind of scenario or this kind of issue, we have to just see how we can implement a BIM in a proper quality level. So my presentation, I have summarized this presentation into few topics. It's very brief. So the point what I am planning to discuss is about what are the basic challenges, global challenges, what is being faced in the industry, and what how we can make a kind of proper track strategy or proper track for implementing the BIM with a better quality, and which all software or how we can make it in an effective way. So that is another point. And then what are the quality controlling measures? How we can control the quality on the project while implementing, and even a few kind of insights from our previous experience and related stuff. So this is what even we are planning to discuss in our session today. So I know that all of you are familiar, or all of you are in this industry, and you are very eager to know what you call what is the advanced thing in the industry and how we can make our things more better. So by connecting to that particular context, I would like to draw your attention to the shift of industry from AEC to DAEC co, means DAECO. So it is all not a new term. This is very common in last few years. So the thing is, normally we familiar that we are in the AEC industry, but the thing is, now the AEC is little more advanced in such a way that the digital operation has been added, or it has been appended to this particular AEC industry. So that is what even we have to consider, that our industry to be like DACO, like digital architecture, engineering, construction, and operations. So everything has been made digitally. So what was the purpose of digitalization? So the digitalization purpose is to make everything simpler and effective. But please think, or just have a recap on what was your actions in the previous years or something. So was that much more effective, or were you able to make it in a very good effective manner? There might be some situations, there might not be some situations like that. So what we have to understand is that what is the correct track to make it more effective. So if we are talking about this digitalization in the construction industry, like even trends are being updated every year, or even frequently it is being upgraded. So when the trend is being upgraded, we as an AEC professional or DECO professional, we also have to get updated as a team and as an individual. So that's what even I'm planning to share with you, like even how we can make it or how we can upgrade ourselves to deliver a proper BIM, or how we can execute a kind of proper BIM with maximum efficiency. So if we are talking about implementation or efficiency and all, we should find, or we should know, like what was the issue we were facing, or what all issues those were faced by us in the industry in the recent past. So what we should do is, when we are going to the industry, like even one of the most biggest challenge for this shift of traditional methodology to the BIM is just like a kind of cultural shift and adoption. So, cultural shift and adoption means what? Because in the industry, like even everyone are well experienced and very senior people in the industry. The thing is, few of the people, those who are not having an idea, or those who are not having a willingness to get themselves upgraded into the industry, or as per the current scenario or the future scenario, we will face an issue. So that is what even I have mentioned here as the cultural shift. So the people are not ready to shift from their traditional practice to the new system or new methodology of this uh, BIM or even digitalization. So that is the first important point what we all have to be aware about, and we have to take some action on that scenario. So that is about cultural adoption, means cultural shift as well as the adoption. So we should make our team fit enough, or our team well prepared enough to execute or handle the technological trend that is happening in the industry. And apart from that, so this is what we can do as an individual or as a team. But when we talk about the commercial side, or even from the organization point of view, we have to consider like even the initial investment and the necessary resources what are available in the project or for implementing the scenario. So what is the scenario there? Because many companies, those who are they are not enough willing to spend some kind of initial capital for implementing this BIM. There are many situations like even IT infrastructure is required, and even a well expert, what experienced professional or even specialist members are required to be added to the team. So those are the challenges what we will be facing to make it more productive. So this is another point. And another thing is like even when digitalization comes, the bulkiness of the data has been reduced, but the handling or the operation of this bulk data from a single hub or from one particular point is a little tricky, and even it is very important or very crucial. So that is what we have to um, we have to train our people in order to manage this data very professionally. Because the thing is, this is actually completely cloud based collaboration is being carried out, and even complete internal management is also carried out. So whatever methodology we are executing, there is a chance of data loss or even the file corruptions, or many things are there, because everyone are connected. Now integrated BIM system is what we are executing. So there the situation is that everyone are focusing, or everyone are handling this kind of project with a kind of common hub. So the point is, there is a chance or there is a probability of having some kind of data loss or data deterioration in the project. So what we need to know is like even we have to be well prepared enough to make sure our team or ourselves we are prepared enough, or we are set for handling such a kind of data. So data management is one of the biggest challenge. So this is these are few major things what I have to share with you as a kind of challenges. Apart from this challenge, one of the main thing what we have been facing in the industry is there the bridge between the digital construction or the BIM side and the design side. Because the design team or whoever is handling the design from a kind of industry, they are much more experienced with their design intent, and even their their technical experts in the expertise in the context. But when it comes with the digital deliverables, DTE, digital deliverables, they are a little bit lack. So what is the scenario is that the design updation should be connected or should be directly interlinked with this BIM deliverables or digital deliverables. So that is one of the important points what I have to share with you in this scenario. If you find any other things, you are free to share your opinion also. But these are the major challenges what we have been facing. And apart from this one, there is a point what I have to tell you is that there is a lack of standardization. So standardization means what? You know, this BIM standards, it was initiated from British standards, then PAS, and currently ISO 19650 is the standards what we are completely following throughout our implementation. So the point is, this ISO 19650 is a very huge platform or huge hub. So the thing is, standardization, what I meant, or lack of standardization, what I meant here is the organization is facing some difficulty to take the proper context of the standards or proper context in this ISO standards for implementing this BIM. So these are another important thing what we have to, or what everyone have to sit together and then discuss before you implementing some kind of project, because all of a sudden we cannot do anything. We have to be well planned enough before we implementing this thing. So that is what even we have to share something about the challenges what we will be facing. And when these challenges are faced, as I told you in the beginning, technology is used or technology is available for what? For making our life easier, right? So when it is being made into the project, we should find which is the proper solution which we can use for implementing our thing. So that is what even you can see in the slide. Get connected with the latest technological trend in the digital software industry. So once you are getting touched with this particular trend, you can even uh, create or you can even take a good decision on execution. So for doing that decision, you have to do a good research on the application of all the software. Say, for example, you have different software. Say, for example, Navisworks, Solibri, and even Synchro. You can see like even Revit. So different platforms are there for executing one particular, like even the coordination and 4D and 5D simulation. So what we will do, what software content we will use for executing this project. So this is what I was telling like about you and your team should have a kind of proper, it's like a R&D team that you should have in your organization to manage and to finalize which is the exact or which is the appropriate platform or appropriate software or appropriate entry what you can use for executing this project. So that is very important. For this one, you can even just seek the help from the experts who have been working in the industry. This is very important because we don't need to feel anything ashamed about going to somebody and then just getting some kind of knowledge about or insight about their experience in the software, because that is very important or very mandatory. So then only we can even save our time, because when we enter and then we are wasting the time, instead of that, we are getting their experience, so we can even directly use those things into the point and then you can use it. So that is very important. And the most important thing what I have to tell you is that even though when you are using this technological trendy system, don't ever forget to get connected with the project standards, because what is the scope of the project, what you are going to expect or what you are going to get delivered in this project. Don't lose the connectivity between the trend and the requirement. If that is happening, then there is no meaning in this one. So where it will happen, when we fail to do proper analysis on the what you call controlling activities or what to be done or how to be done everything. If you are lacking some kind of control over the analysis of the process, you will have a situation that you will lose the track. So make sure that is not happening. And so in that scenario, if you are facing some kind of issue in that, you should always get ready with a mitigation strategy. So the point is, if you have a proper mitigation strategy on along your journey in the project, then It will definitely help you and your team to make it more success. So that is what the role of an experienced project information managers in the project. So that is what even I suggest, or I would like to share with you in this context. Like the people with the experience in the BIM, with the project informations, and even the BIM, the so-called BIM managers, who can just finally come to a solution to make your project life more easier. So that is what even I have to tell you. So standardizing the BIM by integrating different software trends. Software trend may be either cloud, or even you can even use standalone software depending upon your requirement, and make your things more easier. So this is one of the most important thing what you have to do and your team have to do. So once it is done, even though if you implement it, or if you have chosen your proper methodology for execution, you also should have a proper quality control measures. So proper quality control measures includes what? Like even how you are monitoring the progress of the project. So monitoring the project progress, how we can do, we can follow different procedures are there. We have different scenario with BIM collab is there, even Autodesk BIM 360 issues are there. So the point is like even quality, it refers to proper good deliverables, and even how you are getting those strategy, or how you are preparing your points of execution stage by stage. So that is very important to execute proper quality control measures. So what I have to share with you is that for quality control check, you have a traditional practice, like even direct visual check is there, and even you can even go to proper QAQC checklist, and then you can even follow what all things are mentioned there, and you can have a kind of comparison between your project progress. Apart from this one, what I suggest is that before we making any kind of deliverables, we means if you are belonging to any of the consultants or sub-consultants, or if you are representing your the contractors, or even the lead design consultant, you should have a proper initiation strategy first of all. That is what even many places it is lacking. That is what even I came to see, that many people are lacking about the initiation strategy. Nobody have. So what is the purpose of initiation? So if you are properly planning a clear initiative strategy or initiation strategy, that will help you to reduce your extra effort throughout the journey, because that is what even we have to what you call predetermine what all situations we will be facing in the coming stages. Say for example, a rebars stage 2 or rebars stage 3. So when it progresses to 6, or even up to the construction or IFC or whichever stages, you have to make sure that your deliverables are well well maintained properly, or well executed properly, or well what you call taken into each stages with a proper consideration. So for that one, in ISO standards, ISO 19650 standards, you have to see a kind of proper handing over delivery procedures are there. So what is the purpose of handover strategy? So in handover strategy, normally what we think is, once our scope in the project is done, you will be taken to the next part. So it's not that only. What you have to keep in mind is, even though when you are bringing your project or your scope to an end, and then when you are shifting to the next phase, sometimes some other stakeholders might be taking over your thing. So handing over just not only mean this sort of handing over, rather than even if you are preparing a kind of weekly deliverables, or even monthly deliverables, or even milestone deliverables, make sure at each shift in the stages of the project, it is considered as a proper handing over. Even if you yourself or your organization itself is handling the next stage also, you consider this as a proper handover strategy. So what is the benefit is that by the end of the project, the people who, say for example, you may have peer reviewers in your project. So what you are doing, you are helping them, either it can be a PMC, or even a peer reviewer, or even that directly from the client side. If they are just reviewing your model, you will be having a proper output from your side. So if your output is perfect, then what happens? Then all advantages what we were telling or what we were continuously talking about this BIM will definitely reflect in the result. So what is the situation? You can easily get a kind of quality deliverables or quality output what we were talking long about in this strategy. So as a result, the client will the client can save a lot of money, the project will be completed on time, and many advantages are there when it is carried out in this scenario. So that is what even I have to tell you. Whenever you are developing such a kind of BIM protocol or BIM standardization, BIM implementation methodology in your project, you always prepare a predetermined plan to be happened or to be executed at every stages at the very beginning itself, and apparently try to develop a proper monetary actions. So the quality control measurement, so this quality can be controlled, as I told you before, either before, present, and after. You can say like even past, present, and future, you can even just consider the quality control measures. So that's what even I was telling, like even if even after the deliverables already you have a kind of QA/QC checklist is there. So finally what people will do, people will check it one by one, and then only after submission. So what I suggest is that before itself you prepare a kind of proper strategy to execute it and then check it, and then what will happen, that will definitely give you a kind of good result for implementing this BIM. So overall, what I was telling is that the BIM is a very big area or very big industry. Digital construction or digitalization, the construction industry is what everyone are targeting. But the point is, every members, including draftsmen, engineers, whoever it may be, till the project directors or whoever, even including the client also, we have to make sure everyone are getting proper awareness or proper training on what the real BIM is. Okay, so if the real BIM side is done, what you have to do is we can easily make sure your team is very competitive or very productive or very best team what you have, and correspondingly or accordingly what you will be getting, you will get a kind of proper result. So this is what I have to tell you when you are going to implement or when you are going to execute the BIM strategy or BIM standardization in your project. And always make sure you have many resources available nowadays. But the point is, if you are having many resources, if you want to compile it together or compile the best thing for your project, you have to be like a good what you called reviewing or analysis analyst. Okay, so if you can make it like that, only you can even reach a good end. So that is what I have to share with you. Even though this session was very short and brief, I have to share only like within this time we have to share the discussion. If we are getting more time, we can even discuss a lot more about this one, because different case studies and everything, we have different scenarios. But the point is always try to make sure like even you have a predetermined action strategy what in your mind before you executing or before you entering into the project. So if that is a scenario, then easily we can execute your project in an efficient way, and you can even achieve your target in a very best way. So that's what even I have to tell you. So we will move on to Q&A session. So if you have any queries, we can just hear that, and then we'll conclude it for today. So thank you.